I traded my 2 magic beans for a can of regular beans. That's like the inverse of Jack and the Beanstalk. Well, I was gonna talk about my magic beans, but since I don't have my magic beans anymore, what am I gonna talk about? Oh, there is this episode of Yo Gabba Gabba called Baby. Okay, maybe that one doesn't relate super well to what I was just talking about. What episode does? Bingo, Fairytale. Yeah, this one was a weirdie. So to start, this is a Season 3 episode. Let's look at my Yo Gabba Gabba history. I've looked at every Season 1 episode, aka 20 of the 20. 2 Season 6 episodes, 3 Season 4 episodes, and only 1 Season 3 episode. Now, I don't have a problem with Season 3 or anything. In fact, it's my second favorite season of the whole show. But, I don't know, I guess I just haven't talked about it that much. So, what's a good way to finally talk about Season 3? Well, with one of my least favorite episodes of the season. Yep. Okay, like, it's not a bad one, but I would never call it one of my favorites. Not of Season 3, and especially not of the whole show. In fact, of Seasons 2 to 4 of the show, Fairytale might be my top 5 least favorites. Again, though, it's not, like, bad, I guess. It's just always been one of those weird episodes, I guess. Like, I love some Season 3 ones, like Circus, Adventure, and Doctor, but man, this one's always just been, like, nowhere near that level to me. So, for starters, this is a retelling of a story episode, which isn't inherently bad. One of my favorite episodes of the whole show, like I said earlier, was Adventure. So not even just a Season 3, the whole show. It's an Indiana Jones parody, though, through and through. But at least with that one, it's like what I just said, a parody. It takes elements and spoofs a lot of stuff in Indiana Jones. But it still has its own, somewhat story. This episode, however, is just a retelling of a story with the Yo Gabba Gabba characters, which a lot of shows do that. A lot with even the same story, Jack and the Beanstalk, but I don't know. This isn't just really my type of thing, I guess. So here's 2 examples of like what I'm talking about. So, for whatever reason, the episode Where's Wanda, the Fairly Odd Parents immediately comes to mind. That's an episode that parodies and spoofs a lot of Casablanca and crime noir 1940s, like, movies. But again, it's parody, it's spoof, it's its own story, but it parodies its source material a lot. It has all these other elements that adds to its story. This episode, Fairytale, is just a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk with Yo Gabba Gabba characters. It just always felt lazy to me, and again, the show can do these more parody-style episodes, like I said with the Adventure one. Or I don't know, maybe Jack and the Beanstalk is just boring to me. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of this story. If you're gonna retell a story, do something more interesting. Not only am I not a huge fan of the original story, but it's been done to death with so many different iterations. Like, come on, you guys couldn't have done Happy Gilmore instead? Okay, let me now actually get into the real story of the episode. So it starts with DJ Lance reading a story to the whole Gabba gang. It's really cool, it's the actual storytime book they use in the segments of some episodes. That's a nice detail. When the actual Jack and the Beanstalk story starts, we see Muno coming home and he sees his dad Plex. Not his actual dad, though. Remember, they're just the Jack and the Beanstalk characters. Either that, or I have a lot of questions about this show. Anyways, Plex has this bean machine. It's how they get their food, a machine that just makes beans. You know me and my weird child senses, I thought this bean machine was really cool. The fact it actually looked like a real machine and there was steam just made me think this was a real bean machine. Only thing is, this machine is the only way Plex and Muno get food. So if the power goes out, their food supply also goes out. God, the power's been out for 6 days! I'm starving! But yeah, it breaks, so Plex makes Muno go get it fixed. Don't know where he's gonna find a repair shop in literally the middle of nowhere. So Muno finds a place in the middle of nowhere, and it's this little stand that Tootie and Fufa are at. They offer to trade the broken bean machine for 2 magic beans. So the song for this part is honestly pretty good. You'll be so proud of me. You'll be proud of me. So after Muno gets the beans, he heads home. But before he gets back home, there's this gosh darn animated music video. You know, I really love when these music videos are normal. Like, the Halloween one was weird, but it was Halloween. It was supposed to be spooky, so I get that. This, however, is just strange to me. The song, bad. No offense to who made it, though. A sneaky dragon flew along with a plan to take her back to his castle. I do see the vision for the paper cutout aesthetic, but it just ends up looking weird, especially the colors. Like, look how bad this is. It's weird and unmemorable. I can honestly go without this in the episode. Also, here's an example of a good animated music video which has a good song and not disgusting visuals. I will teach you a little word I know, a word to say when meeting someone new. Hello. Now we're back to the story where Muno returns home thinking his dad will love the 2 magic beans he now has. But Plex is disappointed. He's upset because Muno traded their only food supply for 2 dinky old green beans. He throws them out the window and tells them we won't be able to have dinner tonight. Disappointed dad Plex is like the funniest thing to me. I mean, I get it. We've all had that experience before. Godson, you traded a bean machine. What the f- Okay, so Muno's very devastated. He has no supper and his father's disappointed. So he sings this song. It's pretty good. It's this sad ballad where Muno still wants the magic beans to be real. Honestly, it's pretty great. This song really goes all out with it. It just sounds good. You really get what they were going for here. My favorite part about this, though, actually, I think is the visuals. Like, this is a super unique shot for Yo Gabba Gabba. And the lighting is so good. It's night, but it's got that blue tint to it. Overall, while this part isn't a party jam, super catchy extravaganza, it works for what it tries to accomplish. A sad song sung by Muno, but still has that action to the music. Like I said, it's a sad ballad. Also, the beans sunk into the ground. Okay, so we're taking a break from the story. We got a super music and French show song. I always love these. These are majority of the time great. Unlike the animated music videos, which are very often weird, the super music and French show always had so much more quality to it.
Well, it seems like you can be anything, any kind of creature.
What do I say? This probably takes the cake for the weirdest thing in the entire series. The actual sound of the song just sounds straight out of the Uncanny Valley, and the weird animal noises.
Frog, bear, cat, deer monster.
This is just disgusting, man, and the way the guy is singing it is not helping. I imagine this is the song that plays when you go to hell. So the beanstalk is grown, and Muno climbs up and finds a gold bean machine. He wants to take it without thinking that you can't actually eat beans if they're, gold. And it talks. Only sometimes, though. But when Muno is thinking about taking it, Fee-fa-fo-fum! Broby the Giant comes out, since, it is his land. And he's singing, being evil, terrorism, the usual for this guy. Home Alone. However, Muno still takes it, again, terrorism, as he climbs down the beanstalk. Honestly, I really like this song. It has that great pop beat, I love it.
Climbing up to a magic place, meet new friends, and find a new bean machine.
Plus, Broby being the giant is just really funny. Evil Broby and disappointed dad Plex, unstoppable combo. But also, it makes sense for his character. Remember the big episode? Broby really wanted to be big in that one. So I like that he's the giant in this story, it makes sense. Also again, Evil Broby's just really funny to me. So yeah, great part of the episode. Although, to be fair, anything after whatever that was is amazing to me. I was kind of exaggerating when I said terrorism earlier. It's more like a masochism and thievery, but I would legitimately rather watch terrorism than watch that part again. So then DJ Lance does this dance, climb the beanstalk, fits with the episode, so it's decent. The story continues as Muno hears the giant coming down the beanstalk, so he hides literally the best spot possible, right next to the beanstalk. Absolute genius. I wish I could be on Muno's level. Or Jack's. Whatever. I also love how as soon as Muno takes the gold bean machine and leaves, Broby notices. Muno hasn't even gotten the house yet. So Broby comes down and confronts Muno. All of a sudden, the disappointed dad walks out, and this is actually something pretty interesting. You would think the giant learns a lesson in sharing or something like that, but no. Muno is the one that gets in trouble. I mean, I get why, obviously. He just went to this guy's home and stole his most prized possession. But you think that maybe like, oh, Broby wants to take the bean machine back so only he can use it, but learns a lesson and starts sharing. But no, I really do commend them for going with this real moral. I mean, yeah, Plex and Muno still end up poor, but that doesn't mean you're just allowed to take things from people. If anything, you could say Broby, as the giant, is more of a good guy, as depicted here, whereas in most iterations, the giant is typically depicted as evil and the antagonist, but in this episode, not really, if you think about it. That's pretty interesting, and makes the episode not only have a more better and interesting message, but it also makes it just more memorable, especially for a Jack and the Beanstalk iteration. Also, the original story doesn't even have a bean machine, so obviously there's that too. Anyways, in this part, they actually sing a song. Now, typically, I guess, this wouldn't be weird, but starting with Season 2 onward, the show always had 3 main songs in the story part of the episode. Season 1 had 4, but I'm glad it was condensed to 3. 3 worked better, because not only was there a little more time to breathe in the story, but also, the songs could be more original and could be longer. Yeah, Season 1 had to recycle their songs a lot, so sometimes you'd see the same song in Season 1 like 5 times. Thankfully, there was only 3 songs, Season 2 onward, they were pretty much all original. They pretty much never recycled after Season 1. It was a good change, but this episode has 4 songs. And what's worse, it's the I'm Sorry song from like, what, episode 4?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it is a lot better than the one from season 1, so at least it has that. So that's the story. The book is finished, but there's still a knock-knock joke of the day segment.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Banana split, so I screamed.
Haha, banana split, so I screamed. Ah, the only thing is, why is Paul Shear so shocked? The remix here is decent. Same old, man. That's the episode. Well, I wouldn't say I particularly liked it. I didn't hate it, I guess. My feelings are just kind of indifferent on it. I like a few of the songs, and Disappointed Dad and Evil Broby are pretty funny. But at the same time, it is just a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk. A story I already don't even care for. So yeah, I probably would still put it on the weaker side of Yo Gabba Gabba episodes. But again, I didn't hate it. I guess I've just always had that feeling on this episode. I'm never going to go out of my way and watch it like, oh boy, I want to see that episode. But I don't hate it. Like, I'm not going to commit terrorism on it, you know? God, I guess I'm just really into terrorism right now. It's like one of those phases. You know, you got the emo phase, the punk phase, the terrorism phase. Although, I do really love that gold bean machine. That'd be so cool to have. Hey, even though I don't have the 2 magic beans, I do have, what, like 100 beans? That should overpower just 2 magic beans, right, if you think about it. Could I climb a beanstalk? Yeah, nope, I'm not gonna do it. And so that was the fairy tale of when I reviewed the Fairytale episode. That was such a bad story. Like, what kind of story is about a review of another story? This isn't even a story. This is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Wait. Well, I guess this is next. Wait, this is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What was I reading?